For people that are interested in logical debate, you are in for a treat. I mean, witnessing Austin Witsit debate is like watching prime Michael Jordan play basketball. Again, it has nothing to do with him being a flat earther. Austin Witsit's command of logic and logical fallacies is absolutely incredible. It far exceeds my own, and I've been dealing with and studying with logic and logical fallacies specifically for many, many years. I may or may not have a couple degrees from a couple different universities that some might find prestigious. I would never use this as an argument. I don't even want to bring those up because either the points I'm making are fallacious or they are not. Whatever indoctrination I happen to receive at whatever indoctrination facilities has no merit on the argument itself. But what cannot be denied is this guy's greatest of all time status as a debater. I've watched a lot of debates on a lot of different subjects. I have never seen anybody as good as Austin Witsit. People think Ben Shapiro's a good debater. Some people think that he's actually pretty decent, but he's usually coming against really weak opposition. Austin Witsit just plows over any and all opposition I've seen. We will, of course, have the logical fallacies counter. I am also going to add a zingers counter just for the heck of it to make it even more entertaining, because insults separated from the fallacies. So just to examine who has the best insults or zingers per se.
It's very easy to explain why we can see Alpha Centauri.
No, it's not. You have to. How do you know the mass and the brightness? How do you know the mass of that star?
Because guys have figured it out.
Alpha Centauri. Again, this gets into like many decades of astrophysics and astrology.
So this is just another appeal to authority logical fallacy. So he's just stacking fallacies and then creating this experiment on top of fallacies and expecting everybody to take it on blind faith. Does that sound scientific to anyone, or is that just religious?
They've mapped out. But again, if you can make the easy assumption that, and this is based on good science, not an assumption, but even if you don't believe, I'm talking to you guys, you don't believe mainstream science, that Alpha Centauri is about the same size as the Sun.
How do you know that?
How do they know that?
Again, it's the equations they use.
How far is Alpha Centauri?
Equations are not
Alpha Centauri
reality.
1 + 1 unicorns equals 2 unicorns. That must mean unicorns are real just because the math works. The math works!
There's more than enough. But you do realize there's only 5,000 to 6,000 visible stars. So it's not like we're seeing like the whole galaxy. We're only seeing our local vicinity.
You don't know the distance to the stars. They just changed Polaris distance by 100 light years and admitted they were off by 100 light years, over 30%.
I've got the data from Polaris, but we can...
Yeah, the data that they changed already.
They changed
which version do you have, Brian?
You guys think that Polaris is staying in place, but it's provably moving.
But wait, that's called a diversion, right? Because you're bringing up something that requires the distance to the stars to make your whole argument. So I'm like, but you don't actually know those distances. For example, Polaris...
This is where science comes in.
For example, Polaris was just... They come out and admit that they were off by over 30%, and it's 100 light years closer at least. So you admit that we don't actually know for sure that these distances and masses are correct.
But I'm saying the actual movement of Polaris we mapped very carefully. Okay.
You're changing it now to
moving the goalpost. The other thing that's kind of sad is Brian is just being absolutely obliterated by these 3 young guys and David Weiss.
It comes down to either the sun's moving away from you on a flat stationary Earth, or we're falling backwards 700 miles an hour in the United States, or 1,000 at the equator, and it makes the sun look like it's moving. So we'll agree to disagree. I don't think I'm falling backwards during the sunset.
I know you're not.
Falling backwards. So that's we'll get to that.
You got a lot of stuff to look into, bro.
So do you guys. Electromagnetism.
No, we don't.
Gravity.
You looked into everything you brought up.
Look how he's so triggered. He keeps going back to that. Like, there's so many points he could have went back to, but he keeps going back to the one that's most triggering because he knows it's valid. His subconscious is utterly betraying him here.
It's really electric forces that hold our world together.
Wait, you really think the electric field can explain 9.8 meters per second? Because that is so easy to debunk.
It's really electric forces that hold our world together.
Yeah, everything's intrinsically electric.
So easy, he couldn't do it. It's been hours. He still couldn't do it. he still utterly fails to even understand that gravity's not even claimed to be 100% constant. I mean, he's missing the fundamental basics of everything he's even talking about. Because if gravity is real and the world really is a spinning globe, it still doesn't work the way that he's claiming it to. But he's so utterly clueless and devoid of all logic and reason, he's not capable of understanding that.
Electrostatic, it isn't a field pulling it down. It just sets the up and down, and then density separates the rest for the 50th time.
Density is just a relative. It doesn't have a vector to it.
Yeah. No, but the vector comes by the electrostatic.
Electromagnetism works in all directions. It doesn't work. I'm sorry. It doesn't go.
It's really electric forces that hold our world together.
Like I said, you can.
Do we have an electric gradient on the Earth? Yes or no?
The electric gradient, like I said, it increases a lot.
Non sequitur.
But you said it comes in every direction.
It's not a non sequitur because
it doesn't matter the strength. It doesn't matter what the strength is. It's that it sets it up and down.
It varies wildly, and gravity doesn't
matter. Doesn't matter. It's always more. It's always
more. Are you kidding me?
It's always more positive above.
It's really electric forces that hold our world together.
The Earth, everywhere on the Earth.
Even if it varies wildly across the planet, it can still account for a stable 9.8. Give you accurate predictions about the reality.
But it doesn't. It doesn't give us accurate predictions.
It says.
Are you kidding me?
It's off by 95% on the cosmological scale, and it's off on the quantum scale.
Well, that's a different thing. I'm talking.
No, it's not a different thing. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
I'm talking about astrophysics now. I'm talking about general relativity has never really been falsified.
It literally has, though.
Well, show me what's
okay. Dark matter, dark energy, expansion rate, the lack of
general relativity.
What? Because you added something to make your model work, and then
relativity made a prediction. Listen, it's accurate on the local scale because it's downward acceleration, which is an agreed upon average.
That is the electric field. Absolutely
can't be. Cannot be.
You're afraid to hear me lay out.
Cannot be.
Listen, you can have a magnet and a diamagnetic object, right? The magnet's going to get bent by an electric field, and it's going to slow down.
Non sequitur.
It's not a non sequitur. You can't. We know that things fall at the same. I mean, come on. Electric fields don't work.
If I drop a magnet over top of an area, the ground that has more metal composition, does it drop faster or slower, or exactly 9.8?
If there's no air resistance, it's all going to drop at 9.8.
That's incorrect. If I drop a magnet...
Yeah, I mean, this is sad. I mean, Bryant's not even... I mean, this is like, what, 3rd graders or 4th graders do experiments with magnets? I forgot what year we did these experiments. This guy doesn't even know what magnetism is? Is that the problem here?
The electric force, the magnetic force, and the force of gravity. There's more than just one force.
Gravity's a pseudoscientific fairy tale that needs to explain the convexity of the ocean bending around the ball.
I debate Austin. Is that why you brought him on, Dave? So you got some ace in the whole flat earth?
Ace in the hole? Like, what does that mean? So he acknowledges his own obliteration? So did he called Austin an ace in the hole? So, like, look at his face here. Like, his narcissism couldn't handle being obliterated, so now he's attacking Dave for bringing Austin on. Again, just in terms of pure argumentation, I have not ever seen anybody as good as Austin Witsit, and I would say he doesn't even have a close second right now. People want to give me props, but I don't think so. I don't think I would be able to defeat Austin Witsit in any debate on any subject. He would probably be my number 1 pick for any debate on any subject, just because of his command of logic and logical fallacies. Nothing to do with Flat Earth, of course, just mentioning logic.